Hi and welcome to today's vlog. Today I am sat on the floor in my living room to bring you my latest book haul.
She likes oversharing with outfits and swearing, admiring her tats while she plays with all her cats. Her disability gives her superpower, agility to holiday and live the right way. Stellasaurus.
So we nipped to Waterstones at the weekend because I had a big load of Love to Shop vouchers that were going to expire in September. I've had the vouchers for a really long time, but there's not that many shops that you can use them in that I shop in, except for Waterstones. So over the past couple of years, every now and then I've just treated myself to a book with the vouchers, but it's been so long since we went into town because I've been ill and recovering from surgery that they were sort of running out. So I'm trying to do a little bit of exercise each week. So this week we thought it would be nice to walk around the bookshop and buy some books and buy them with not money. So I haven't paid out of my own account. I haven't had to worry that I'm wasting my money. It was just vouchers, and I had a lot. I had 100 quid's worth of vouchers to spend, so I bought 100 quid's worth of books. And don't worry, I treated Neil to a book too. So hey Taco, I am now gonna show you all of the books that I got in Waterstones. Now, you know me, I very much judge a book by its cover. If the cover looks fancy, I will pick it up, and if I like the blurb, then I'm going to buy it if the book looks cool. So yeah, I very much judge books by their covers. So first up is this book, Ghost Theatre by Osman. And it says it was chosen as the Book of the Year 2023 by the Evening Standard, The Observer and The Times. So this is the blurb. It says, "To love is to fall. On a rooftop in Elizabethan London, two worlds collide. Shay is a messenger girl and the trainer of hawks who sees the future in the patterns of birds. Nonsat is the dark star of the city's fabled children's theatre scene, as famous as royalty, yet lowly as a beggar. Together they create the Ghost Theatre, a troupe staging magical plays in London's hidden corners. As their hallucinatory performances incite rebellion among the city's outcasts, the pair's relationship sparks and burns against a backdrop of the plague and London in flames. Their growing fame sweeps them up into the black web of the Elizabethan court, where Shay and Nonsat discover that if they fly too high, a fall is sure to come. Fantastical and captivating, the Ghost Theatre charts the rise and dramatic destruction of a dream born from love and torn apart by betrayal." Inside the dust jacket, it's got this lovely matte outfit. The cat's on the remote. The cats. So like I was saying, inside the dust jacket, it's got this map of London. Love stuff I love details like that. I love that kind of thing. I love historical fiction, sort of Victorian, Elizabethan, Georgian, love it. So yeah, really looking forward to this. Next up is a book by Bella Ellis. I have all of her books so far in this series. They are based on the Bronte sisters, and basically she has written a series of mysteries that the Bronte sisters solve. So she's taken the factual details of the Bronte's history and then sort of added her own fictional twist into it, where they basically solve crimes and things, and it's fun. It's a little bit spooky, it's a little bit ghosty. Her books are really good, so when I saw there was a new one out, I got that. So this is called A Gift of Poison. The blurb says, "Charlotte, Emily and Anne have tried to leave their detecting days behind them, and with the forthcoming publication of their novels to look forward to, the younger sisters are occupied with other, much more literary matters, while Charlotte secretly works away on a new book." The cats are running around. However, their planned peaceful summer of spending time with their visiting friend Ellen is disrupted by threats from an infamous local man, Abner Lowood, recently acquitted of killing his wife in a scandalous case that has shocked the nation, he blackmails the sisters into revisiting their detection skills one last time to clear his name in the eyes of the public as well as the law. With the eyes of their father upon them, a sick brother to care for, and sinister goings-on disrupting the local workhouse, the Brontes must confront far darker things than their minds and pens could ever summon. So yeah, excited. This is what it looks like out of its dust jacket. It's got, I like the hardback versions of these books because they've got a real feel of old books to them. I've enjoyed the other Bronte sister mysteries. Excited to read this. Next up is a book by C.E. McGill called Our Hideous Progeny. And this absolutely was attracted to the cover. The cover was what sold it for me. I picked it up because I saw the cover and I thought it looked fun, and Hideous Progeny sounds lovely. This is the inside of the dust jacket, and isn't that pretty? Really beautiful stuff. So the blurb about this book says, "It is not the monster you must fear, but the monster it makes of men." Mary is the great niece of Victor Frankenstein. She knows her great uncle disappeared in mysterious circumstances in the Arctic, but she doesn't know why or how. The 1850s are a time of discovery, and London is ablaze with the latest scientific theories and debates, especially when a spectacular new exhibition of dinosaur sculptures opens at the Crystal Palace. Cats, come on! And Nix, you're supposed to be resting. Anyway, Mary, with a sharp mind and sharper tongue, is keen to make her name in this world of science alongside her geologist husband Henry, but without wealth and connections, their options are limited. But when Mary discovers some old family papers that allude to the shocking truth behind her great-uncle's past, she thinks she may have found the key to securing their future. Their quest takes them to the wilds of Scotland, to Henry's intriguing but reclusive sister Maisie, and to a deadly chase with a rival who is out to steal their secret. A sumptuous tale of adventure, passion and intrigue, Our Hideous Progeny explores what happens when ambition becomes obsession. Sounds good. I like when books sort of do a new take on an existing book. So yeah, Mary's supposed to be the great niece of Victor Frankenstein, so it's like a character that already exists, and I think it's really fun when people take that further. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. Next up is a book called The Hemlock Cure, and it is by Joanne Byrne. Again, the cover sort of first attracted me. The style of the cover attracted me, and when I read the blurb, I knew it was the kind of book I was going to like. It says, "It is 1665 and the women of Iam keep many secrets. Isabel Thirth, the village midwife, walks a dangerous line with her herbs and remedies. There are men in the village who speak of witchcraft, and Isabel has a past to hide. She tells nobody her fears about Wulfric, the pious, reclusive apothecary. May, Wulfric's youngest daughter, dreads her father's rage if he discovers what she keeps from him, like her feelings for Rafe, Isabel's ward, or that she studies from Wulfric's forbidden books at night. Ooh. But others have secrets too, secrets darker than any of them could have imagined. When May makes a horrifying discovery, Isabel is the only person she can turn to, but helping May will place them both in unspeakable peril. And meanwhile, another danger is on its way from London, one that threatens to engulf them all." That sounds like a lot to fit into this book. So I hope that it doesn't sort of rush it or skate over some things, because it's from the blurb, it sounds like this is cram-packed with a whole bunch of stuff. So I hope it isn't rushed. I hope it sort of gets the story across at a good pace. So yeah, that's The Hemlock Cure. Next up is a non-fiction book. I love a good non-fiction book, especially history, medical-based, serial killers. Love them. So I picked this book up. It is called Great and Horrible News: Murder and Mayhem in Early Modern Britain by Blessing Adams. Love stuff like this. I've got lots of books about sort of the origins of crime and crime solving and murder. And guys, no fighting. No fighting allowed. Nix had surgery yesterday and she is supposed to be resting. She is not resting. Anyway, yeah, like I was saying, love this kind of book. So the blurb says, 9 historic crimes, 1 familiar obsession. In early modern Britain, murder truly was most foul. Baby, what are you doing? pamphlets littered the streets, titillating audiences with exceedingly gruesome tales. Trials were gossipy events packed to the rafters with noisome spectators. Executions were public proceedings which promised not only gore, but desperate confessions in the grandest, most righteous human drama. Great and Horrible News unfolds true stories of murder, criminal investigation, early forensic techniques, and high court trials in early modern Britain. These stories are pieced together from original research using coroner's inquests, court records, parish archives, letters, diaries, and the cheap street pamphlets that proliferated to satisfy a voracious public. That is a very thesaurus sentence, isn't it? The historical laws and attitudes described in this book may strike many as exceptionally cruel, yet many aspects of public relation to the criminal justice system have not changed. We are still fascinated by narratives of murder and true crime. Murder trials continue to be grand public spectacles, female killers are frequently cast as aberrant objects of sexual desire, and suicide remains a sin within many religious organisations. Great and Horrible News explores the strange history of death and murder in early modern Britain, yet the stories within may appear shockingly familiar. Boring dust jacket. That sounds great. Like I said, I love historical non-fiction. Great stuff. It's one of my favourite subjects. Looking forward to reading this a lot. Next up is a book called The Cornish Wedding Murder by Fiona Leach. These seem to be a series. There seems to be quite a few of them that she has written. Looks like there are another 5 that she has written. This is the first one. And the cover reminded me of the Agatha Raisin books I used to read. And then when I looked on the back, it said it was a charming mystery novel, perfect for fans of Richard Osman and The Appeal. So I quite like The Appeal, and I like the Richard Osman books. They're an easy read. And this really reminds me of like Agatha Raisin, which they were so easy to read. The early ones especially, really good books. So I thought I would give this a go. It says, still reeling from the hustle and bustle of city life, ex-detective Jodie Nosy Parker is glad to be back in the Cornish village she calls home so she can finally start her dream catering company. Obviously. But nothing reminds you of quite how small your village is like being asked to cater your ex-boyfriend's wedding. Why would you say yes to that? Surely saving the day will be a piece of cake for this not so amateur sleuth. So yeah, I think this is going to be a fun read. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be daft. I think it's going to be silly. And if I like it, I will definitely get the rest of the books in the series. So yeah, that was The Cornish Wedding Murder. Excited. Next up is The Facemaker. So this non-fiction book is by Lindsay Fitzharris. She wrote another book called The Butchering Art, which is one of my favourite non-fiction books. Such a good book. It is so interesting. Yeah, it's one of my favourite non-fiction books. It's like a really good account of like the history of surgery, and it was so interesting. So The Facemaker is basically the history of plastic surgery. I've wanted this book for a while. It was buy one get one half price, so I picked it up. And it says on the back that it is a deeply moving and uplifting story, how one surgeon's pioneering treatment healed soldiers with the most disfiguring injuries of the First World War. Fascinating book about a remarkable man. So yeah, I'm really interested in this book. I love medical history. I love reading about sort of the advancements in medicine and surgery. I find it all really fascinating. So yeah, I love Lindsay Fitzharris. She also had a show on the Smithsonian Channel, which was quite interesting. And she's been documenting her experience with breast cancer on her Instagram account as well, which has been just really interesting. She's really good. And if you read one non-fiction book in your life, read The Butchering Art, because it's so good. So yeah, I'm really excited to read The Facemaker. The penultimate book is penultimate, is that the right word? I think that's the right word. The penultimate book is The House of Fortune by Jessie Burton. She has written a couple of other books that I really liked. The Miniaturist was alright. The Muse was quite good, and she has another book called The Confession, which I do not have, but this was again part of the buy one get one half price, so I picked it up. Yeah, her books are quite good. One of them was The Miniaturist, was made into a TV show, which I actually thought was better than the book. This says 1705. Thea Brandt is about to turn 18, and at the theatre in Amsterdam's Golden City Centre, she has met the love of her life. At home, the Brandt family faces ruin, and Thea's aunt Nella is convinced the only solution is to find Thea a wealthy husband among the city's elite. As Thea and Nella clash over the demands of duty and the heart, past secrets begin to overwhelm their present. Will each woman be able to rescue her destiny from the whims of fortune? So, yeah, I'm not really sure. It doesn't really tell you what it's about. But again, like I said, I love books that are set sort of in the past, and I've enjoyed Jessie's other books, so hopefully it'll be all right. My last book is another non-fiction book. It is called Rogues: True Stories of Grifters, Killers, Rebels and Crooks. It is by Patrick Radden Keith. I'm excited again. Love a non-fiction book. I'm really excited to read about the true stories of grifters, killers, rebels and crooks. I love this kind of stuff. I just think it's so interesting. I love history. I think Neil gets really fed up with me because I'm always recounting sort of historical facts to him and he doesn't care. But I love history so much, and this is just right up my street. I'm really excited to read Rogues. I think this is going to be good. The writing is like in true typical non-fiction paperback style. The writing is teeny tiny, so whether this is going to be a bit of a slog to get through. Some non-fiction books are a bit of a slog to get through, especially if they're very fact. I like it when they're sort of a little bit impersonal, I guess. So I'm hoping that this is going to be okay to read. So that is my book haul. Like I said, we had Rogues by Patrick Radden Keith. We had House of Fortune by Jessie Burton. We had The Cornish Wedding Murder by Fiona Leach. Great and Horrible News by Blessing Adams. The Hemlock Cure by Joanne Byrne. A Hideous Progeny by C.E. McGill. Facemaker by Lindsay Fitzharris. A Gift of Poison by Bella Ellis, and The Ghost Theatre by Matt Osman. That is my lovely book haul from Waterstones. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books, or if you read any of the books in the series of these books, or by any of these authors. Get in touch, let me know. What are you reading right now? Again, drop me a comment, let me know what you're reading at the moment. I have been in a reading slump for most of this year. At the start of the year, I set myself a Goodreads challenge of 50 books. I think I've read 2.5. So I don't think unless I sort of really do some serious reading between now and December, I don't think I'm going to meet my Goodreads challenge this year. I don't know why. I love reading. And when I do read, when I'm into it, I read book after book after book. I could read 3 or 4 books in a day. I'm a very quick reader. So I don't know why I can't sort of just pick up a book and bloody read it. It's very frustrating. So if you've got any tips for getting out of a reading slump, drop those below as well, because I'd love to get out of this one. My to be read list is freaking ginormous. That was my haul. Hope you liked it. Anyway, I digress. Like I said, that was my haul. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will be back soon with another video.